Alright, let's go. Wow, it's been a while since we've done some game dev around here, and to be fair, I'm working with a brand new state for this computer, which I fully rebooted because last stream was Blue Screen Festival. Hi Luna, you're asking how is this gonna work? So the way this is gonna work basically is that it's going to be, think about a management game which eventually will work with the real time and focus mostly on what can fit in an idle / management game. Think here the worker empire thing. Like, let's just take something like Black Desert map somewhere. Like if we take a Black Desert map, okay. So basically this would be kind of the main view of the game would be the map, right? Instead of the first person view. The node manager, that's what you will deal with. Eventually, yes, at first. I asked people what they want to do first, if they want to go with the combat side or the node manager side first, and node manager side seems to be what people want to see first. But yeah, the thing is that the game will be mostly appearing through a map, and then the combat will be kind of hidden behind, and it will be allowing you to unlock new areas. So you're gonna be dealing with just PDU's node management views as an idle game. This is gonna be kind of the main point of the game, and then we'll see what we can expand to do around this, right? Because there are some things Black Desert doesn't do because it's not an idle game, and we will eventually be able to do that. So I don't know specifically what those things are gonna be, but we will figure it out as we play it. Now you thought I would code the whole game again, which would be a big undertaking. Like, yeah, I can't do that. Absolutely can't do that. But the combat system is going to be very different because it's going to be fitting in an interface. And honestly, I have no hard decision on what it's going to be, because when you look at how idle games, or what I would say automatic games, approach combat, there are many different ways to do that. Like, we could have like a kind of auto chess, we could have an interface based combat, we could have a dice based combat. It's very kind of an open space here to work with. So yeah, we will start with basically creating nodes and allowing the nodes to produce things and process things. The Tata got you though. Imagine coding a whole MMO all over again. Great word to load players in. Honestly, I've seen people doing that. I mean, I will have to find this again, but I was looking for content regarding server content, and where was that? I think I'm going too far. Where's this dude? Oh, I'm not going too far. Okay, I don't know, but I don't know where it is. But basically there's a guy who was like teaching how to make dedicated server with Godot, and the main object he was using to teach that was making an MMORPG, and that was actually very cool. I will have to find this again. So anyway, yeah, my computer is kind of blank right now, so my Godot folder is pretty empty, and I had a bit of starting point for this, because basically before my reboot I was working on a, well, Black Desert inspired idle game to make it a tutorial. So I have a bit worked on that, but it's just like in archives, so I think I'm gonna create something different. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna go in and go to project. Yes. That's gonna be black desert idle. Like very, very oriented. Oh, I don't have GitKraken. Let me download GitKraken. So I didn't put the chat back on the stream flux, but that's not a big deal, I guess. Almost done. Are we? Please don't make me restart my computer. That's all I ask. What do we have to do for the project study? Maybe start with a 1600, 900. Wait. I'm a bit confused. Are you doing it? No. Come on, give it to me. So anyway, I will be creating a GitHub repository for this one, and I think this is gonna be open source. That could be a great thing. Okay, so, yeah, probably because like, okay, we have like 10 of those running. So I will have to go through the licensing thing. Because I think it would be very interesting for people to be able to join in on the creation of the game. Yes, so maybe I can kill one. Yep. Why is it so long? Oh. Please. Welp. Ah, there we go. Alright, let's see. Maybe I can connect with Alright. How comfortable are you with Git? Open a rep. Why am I going through the tutorial? Shoo! Get away! Yeah, just take me to the app. Well, why aren't you? Why is it so weird? Wait, no, I don't want to open, I want to create. I want to create a repo. Continue. Why is the just take me to the app not working? Okay, we're gonna open a rep. And there's no repository, you can't open it. But you can try. Yes, there's none. Oh my god, why did they do that? So annoying. Okay, what if I restart it? Are you gonna launch the app now? Please make me. Ugh. What if I stop the tutorial? Yes! No, can I stop the tutorial? Yes, that was the trick. Faking going in a tutorial. Alright. So we're gonna have... Actually, let's see what we can do here. So we're gonna create black disk idle in there. We're gonna have the master branch, no git ignore and license. Okay. Let's see. Choosing the license. So eventually I could skip that at the moment. I just add this for, I mean, a little bit later. Yes, this. Well, what are the three choices? Want to work in a community, simple and permissive, care about sharing improvement. Yes, so here we have no community license. Let's see, I think this is the table. Limitations. Hi Yuri, long time no see indeed. How are you doing? Eventually I will take the MIT license, but it's gonna be simpler. It seems kind of standard. What is LFS? I don't know. Oh, is this in French? It is. Yikes. Oh, this is gonna be long. There it is. See, I know how to fetch it in English, but not in French. That's special. You're fine. Got hooked into the web dev too much recently. No time and energy for game dev. Well, eventually that can get you money, so why not? Probably better on this end. Okay, so here we have the Godot and stuff. Godot and stuff. Okay, we're gonna put that. Wait, no, we're gonna create a remote actually. Black the title, and there we go. And how are you? So not just to see you with shorter hair. Oh yeah, that is definitely something different. Especially since I didn't remake the thumbnails. I definitely should send a message to my friend who's a photographer. She could do that very well. But yeah. It's not really... I mean, the auto cutting of the camera makes it a little bit weird, but that's okay. Okay, let's see, do we actually have this project now? We have Black Desert Idol, so eventually I will rename that in the future. But yeah. And there's a license. What's in there? Okay. So this should be enough to allow people to... are safe enough to work on that. And did I actually skip the how are you? I'm basically fine. I took quite a while away from game dev publicly recently. I mean, I think my last game dev content is like 2 or 3 weeks old. But now we're ready to go back into it. And yeah, regarding the kind of content I've been working with, as I said a little bit earlier, I've been interested in doing servers, but that was quite a lot to handle, so I will keep that for a little bit later. I'm gonna let it sit there. And yeah, we're gonna go back on what we felt comfortable working on. So I wanted to check the wiki on this thing. Home. Yes. Let's create a hello world in there. So we'll have a home. Okay. And that's it. So we can make a footer, which is great. This is interesting. And then edit. Because they talk about roadmaps and stuff, so I'm not so sure how they're supposed to be done. It's a very basic wiki, right? Just do markdown. But eventually having the roadmap, change logs, game design document objects in there could be interesting. So that people can suggest contribution, I guess? Not sure. What about project tab? Quick access to relevant project. Build like a spreadsheet, project tables if you like canvas filter so group issues. Okay, so that's to work with the issues and pull requests. But what happens if we create a new project? Oh, we can make a board? Yay. Oh, those are great. I think they're very cool. Kanban, but tracker. Roadmap? Very nice. Let's make a simple Kanban. So we need to make this, create a name for this. Let's rename this like board. Backlog ready, in progress, in review, done. Okay, cool. Great idea. I would have missed it, definitely, so thank you for that. Okay. So eventually I will fill this later on. Oh, it's actually different, like we're not in the same thing. We are in a project. Yeah. So I had to go back here. And what happens? Projects, is it related? Yes. It is private. Okay, so maybe I can make it public. More options? Private object. Manage. Visibility. Yeah. Public. Good. This should make it. Hi Fluffy. How are you? I'm doing good. What about you? So with those things, I think we're kind of good to start with. And eventually people will be able to fork this if they want to join. That would be so great. And water stops dripping. Okay, so let's jump back to Godot and create a random script, you know, to initialize the C# assembly. You want caffeine pseudos, right? Doesn't feel good. The holding strong. I think I've discovered this recently. I've been drinking this Monster drinks, and I'm usually a person who doesn't consume caffeine at all. But yeah, I can feel it real quick that my body's like, stop right now. It's like one can is a lot. Same but Kong strong, yeah. Okay, let's actually see the size of the text here. Yeah, it seems like it's readable. And just to make sure everything works, we're gonna make a simple print hello, just to make sure everything's fine. All right. You check one, forget about it, check another one. Ah, yeah. Filling the caffeine. Yeah, probably. Fast gameplay. Why Godot for this project, mates? Mostly because I work only with Godot. Like, that's the only thing I know how to use so far. Unity goes back way back in the past. And it's good for idle games, I think. I want to change the font here. Oh, I have to re-download it again. But yeah, mostly because I've only been working with Godot. Did I download? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Kinda have to go through the entire process of setting up Godot. Kinda annoying. Okay, main font. Regular. Bold font. And code. Oh. Ah. Okay, there we go. Maybe I need to reload. Good, got hooked into work stuff and was not fan enough of RimWorld for most recent stream. Oh yeah. Eventually those might jump to the French content, RimWorld thing. I wanted to make a game jam, but the last theme was very unappealing to me, so I didn't do it. So this is gonna be my own personal game jam. Make a game like, and here we have Black Desert Online. That's kinda crazy. Kinda crazy. Okay, here's the right font. Well, maybe I can change the font here as well. Can I change that? Font and colors. There we go. So I might need to zoom a little bit. No, that looks readable. Those tabulations are so small though. I might want to change that. Tabs and windows. What is this? Oh no, that's a tab. No, that's what I want. Like indentation? Can I choose the Yeah, I can't really change that tab size, indent size. No result. I'm not sure. Okay, I think I will have to look for something. Now that's text editor. It's not really what I want. Ah, there you go. Tab size. Can you like, maybe I have to, oh yes, that's because they're not, okay. So let's make it 8. And there we'll go. Alright. Did you pitch the Black Desert mechanic you're basing this project on already? You're Black Desert illiterate. Slightly, because someone asked a real question, which was like, how's this gonna work? How are you gonna manage Black Deserts? Basically, since people want to start with the... Actually, we could just like start the game. That would be probably simpler. I don't know. I have to fetch my phone. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, me back. Yeah, but actually I explained it, but not so much. So, we're gonna actually look into the game and see exactly what we will start with. Alright. Is it starting? I swear, this computer blue screens, I'm screwed. Well, it could mean that it is something I add to my computer, like other external objects or some random softwares like just at the top of my mind, Vanguard. Do I want the overlay? No. Discord. Stop with the overlays. For real. No. Skip. No. There we go. No overlay. Oh, chicken. Alright. That's a little bit of loading to go through. You're gonna make it. Where's my cursor? Okay, well, Black Desert being black makes sense. Okay, so the actual first-person game isn't something really that I want to focus on at all. However, the map, right? Like, did you launch it without updates? Nah, it's tomorrow. It's Wednesday. So the idea is that the main... Let's actually give those guys a little bit of privacy. Oh, there's no guild chatting. Oh, it's right here. Weird feature. Anyway, I want to work with the maps. So the way it works, let's go with the start of the game. The way it works is that on the map you have nodes. Nodes represent regions and point of interest. Like for example, this is a farm, so this node represents the farm. And by virtue of being like this farm, it has a production node, or production sub-node if you wish, which will create resources. Here it's a potato farm, so it will generate potatoes. Then you can find in nodes some specific locations, like those little houses here, and of course towns are having a lot more. And those are basically the kind of workshops, if you wish. And you can basically say, this house, I want to make it like a crop workshop. And you will be able to put crops into crate here. So the point of the game is that you have a limited pool of points, which is right here, 71 over 401. And here you can say, okay, I'm gonna invest in this node, so it's gonna be mine. And then you can have workers actually work on the node to produce whatever is in there. What about the tile map for simplification? A hex tile, perhaps? It is possible. However, by having a tile map, you're kind of forcing the entire dev to go and work with a grid. And in my opinion, the grid has to be necessary in a sense to justify that you want to create an entire grid in the code. So what I would do eventually is create the map with a grid, like on whatever tool you draw the map on. But I don't think that the player is gonna need to position nodes or move nodes, so the grid is probably not gonna be necessary for the game script perspective. However, it could be interesting if you ever want to make the game have a random map. So that's just my thought here. Do you envision workers as a quantifiable resource or as NPCs? So you can actually watch what they look like. This is what they are here. Workers are NPCs that you can buy, so they kind of are a quantifiable resource somehow, but they are a little bit more advanced, right? They have levels, stats, and skills. So this is probably what I'm going to work toward. I mean, what I will go toward. And yeah. The thing is, the combat at some point will be necessary. I mean, not necessarily. Yes, I mean combat, yeah. Because I want the combat aspect of the game to be the unlocking system for the nodes, so that you kind of have to explore the map. The map is great, and you explore it. Because that's something which is quite interesting in Black Desert. The map is full black, and as you explore and find nodes, it reveals a part of the map. So there's not much areas which I haven't discovered yet. I think it's only in Seal. Yeah, right here for example, there's a little bit of the map which I never went to, and here as well. What will you increment then? Okay, so the main incrementation of the game will be the combat stat of your adventurers. So the point of having a worker empire and stuff is going to be to generate resources, which will ultimately allow you to build stuff which will define the strength of your character. And the strength of your character, you will be able to explore, to try to explore some areas. And if you have enough gear, well, you can win the fight. If you don't have enough gear, you lose the fight. And if you lose the fight, you don't unlock the node and you don't get whatever it's in there. So something which I said earlier when I was pitching the game is that at the moment we will start with the nodes, but for the game aspect, I'm absolutely not gonna go with the Black Desert fight because it's kind of a, I don't want to say hack and slash, but it's very action RPG oriented, which is not something I would do. But instead, it's going to go for any kind of auto combat which exists somewhere. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. It could be, you know, interface combat, which is very basic for idle games. It could be dice-based combat. I've seen that recently and it could be quite interesting, but in my opinion, it doesn't really fit. You could have auto chess combat in a sense of you put your adventurers on a kind of chess table, and then when you explore, you generate waves of enemies and your character fights. That could be a solution. So this is kind of left to the open at the moment. So we're not gonna go fixing and freezing a feature here because, right, like I'm definitely not designing this kind of combat because it's a little bit complicated, you know. I never tried. But yeah. So that's pretty much it for the pitching. And yeah, something which is also part of the game, you can have a lot of characters in Black Desert. And I kind of want to have this idea of you will have different kind of adventurers which will fight differently. And eventually you can decide where you want to put them on the map. Like some will be maybe exploring while others will be doing like crafting activities. For combat, you suggest one of those gacha mobile games mechanic? Well, that's the thing, there's a lot of them. So it would have to be a little bit more specific. Basically, Slater's Pyre skills instead of cards and auto attack options. Oh, I think I see what you mean. That could be it, like a kind of auto chess, but not teamfight tactical chess. But yeah. Was it like Soda Dungeon did that? I think Soda Dungeon is kind of a fight. Yeah, it's kind of fight basically. That could work. What about auto combat, but as the game progresses you unlock more player inputs like death and stuff? If I go with this kind of combat, I think I'm gonna apply this video which I watched a very long time ago, and I know someone shared it on the Discord, and it might be you, Yuri, who shared this video. Basically about creating the AI for your characters before the fight, and then they will use that during the fight. So you basically have a resource which is quantified in a very small number, like let's say 1 to 4, and then you will have inputs or skills which either generate or consume this resource. So you can kind of create a loop of skills which will repeat, and you will have to set up this loop based on the resource you have. And eventually having like skills evolving as you train them and stuff. Like this is a very open aspect of the game, really. Like this, yeah, it's not fixed. Okay, so let's clean my mess a little bit. Let's delete that. Okay. I think it could be interesting to start with resources. We're gonna start with resources. What color? Huh. What about yellow? And first we will have nodes. Okay. We're gonna create node. Do I specify it is a... No, just node. Okay, so the indentation. What about the indentation? Great. Alright, let's not use system yet. And we're gonna extend results. Be a little bit zoomed in. Okay, so what do we have for the node resource? Probably a key. Default key. Something like, we could have like indexes which are basically strings with node underscore either the name or the idea. Maybe the name is gonna be okay. Like node debug. Moment. I can see a public string name. Basically to say that it's not created, right? Debug node. Before we forget, let's make it a global class so that Godot can find it. So eventually we will have a different kind of content for this node, right? So here, it's gonna have, I'm gonna create a keyword insert. And we need buildings, and we also need production. Oh, how do we call those sub nodes in a sense? Could be, yeah, let's make production sites. Okay, so we basically have to define what is a building and what is a production site. Because I really want to keep that building thing. I shouldn't have closed like this, but whatever. I kind of like the idea of different buildings can make different things and you have to make choices. I kind of like that. Production site. Okay. Maybe it's wise to also think about making an object. So we're gonna make items. Let's see. So we have the global class, and here we're going to do the same public string key, item debug, public string name, item debug. We probably need a texture path, so public string texture. Let's use the debug Godot texture eventually. Okay. We're gonna keep that at the moment. That's enough. Yeah, because we will have the description, we will have the silver value, all that kind of things. But yeah, for future. So maybe we can ignore buildings at the moment and focus on the production side. That could be nice. So we're gonna create a new resource again. Those productions. Yeah, it's a little bit too bad that we have. I mean, I haven't fixed the name yet. Eventually, that's factoring for the future. I don't know. It's a decent name. Okay, we have the global cloud. Public string key. Option. Oh. Production side debug. We're leaving for now. See ya. Well, you have a nice evening. It was good to pass by, and eventually we will have a great game in the future to work with. And also, I don't know if you were here when I mentioned that, but I kind of want that to be an open source project. So if you're interested to work on it, that's gonna be open for pull request and stuff. All right. So basically here, we're gonna need a output. We're gonna need to define the output, so probably a list. That's what makes the most. Could it be an array? I think lists better. And here, this is up. So empty by default. Or maybe we could like... Can I actually set the content? Like if I just say item, like new item. This way we'll have like the default item in the list. I don't know if that works this way. Like, it's not really a kind of syntax I use a lot. Okay, that's probably gonna be fine. And well, we will also define the workload. And do I use integers or long? So this is kind of a quick tips for those who work with Godot and C#. Basically in Godot, when you say int, it is a C# long. But the actual question is, do you actually need a long? I'm gonna go with int. It's public int workload. By default it's gonna be something like 10. The workload is basically the amount of work units you need to put in a node to create the items. And each worker will generate a certain amount of work units or workload every cycle in the game.
Show me something
Okay.
at the height of your power.
So here I have an list of item, which is not really what we want. In the future, we might want to create a buffer here. A buffer that will say basically a node output, which will say if the item, the chance of the item to be produced and the quantity. So we will probably have to create another resource in between right here. So here we have a production site. Okay. So if we go back to the node, we should be able to say that we're going to create a list of production site. And here we're going to create a new production site. Okay. Okay, maybe I'm gonna take an icon, a placeholder icon. Like, what if we go with food? Like, maybe potato. Okay, that's a very weird potato. Maybe we can make something else. Like, what about wheat? Wheat is classic. There we go. Right, background, size. What's gonna be this? 64. Okay. Let's create an assets folder. Something reddish. We're not gonna have 3D anyway, so maybe in the map actually. Having a 3D map could be interesting. But anyway, that's textures. Textures 2D. Maybe I could like texture 2D. It's not Pro, but that's the actual real name that we. Okay, we have the wheat.png. So here we're gonna copy this UID. And I'm gonna go in my item and create a simple item. So let's create a public static item get wheat. So item with equal item. All right. With.key. There's the key. Is the name. And texture path. All right, so this should be the wheat item. Now, if I go in my production site, I should be able to say something like public static production site get wheat file. Wheat farm. So here's the wheat farm. And name. Then the workload. I don't know, 30. And we're gonna make 10 workload per second. And here we need to make the output so the wait farm dot output, new list of item. And what if here I make item dot get wait? It seems that it works.
I've heard things about you, Brett.
Let's change position. Okay. So we get the wheat. So now we should be able to create the node. So this is going to be the Bartley farm, like, which is kind of the iconic Black Desert farm. So node. Actually, I could just use the node name. Right, so we have the name, the key, and then we need to list the production site. So here. Okay, so it seems like we have kind of the series of resources working. They are... I don't have intricate. Like I wanted. So if I go back in the game, I can start thinking about creating a node that would test this at the moment. So let's see, folder scenes gray. Let's have scene. Nah. Color. And we're gonna have a test folder, and here we're gonna have the test 01. Actually, I have no name for it. First node. I'm gonna create a scene. 01. Okay. Pretty script. Yes, little problem. Okay, what do we do with that? Maybe we add a control scene to have a little bit of feedback. So maybe we have a private node. Why don't you know what a node is? Do I have to build? That's slightly confusing. Don't you know what a node is? Oh, wait a second. I think I made a big mistake. Yes. Okay, so that's gonna be a map node from now. Map node. Can't use the Godot node word to make sense. Okay, back to this. You know what this is? No? Don't seem to know what the... Oh. I'm just gonna destroy the script and create another one because maybe I confused the hell out of this poor C# project. This thing. First node 0. And we're gonna rebuild. Missing class qualifying name for reloading script. What do you mean? Godot modules mono. Oh wait, I have to rename this, of course. I'm gonna rename this because it has to be. Yeah, maybe that's the problem. Let's try again. No. Are we good? Looks like we're good. So, yes, we said private map. Okay, we're good. So here we have the barley farm, and actually we can say that it is get barley farm. Okay, so we have the resource here. Now, from this, we should be able to say that on process, we can have a kind of time progression and see. See if we can catch that we have like, I mean, create some workload. Can do that. Yeah, let's actually. So we'll have an int which is gonna be workload progress starting at 0. Then we're gonna have a double or float. Is this a 32 or let's use double instead of float. Time progress. Okay. So on process, time progress will be increased by delta. Pretty classic. We're gonna check for the time progress compared to 1.
Do you want to tell me your name? It doesn't matter, does it? Well, you will be dead in a few days, but I wouldn't say that it doesn't matter.
So we remove 1,
But I do have
and then workload progress plus equal. Let's actually say 9.
You've done a lot.
And this, I could put that in a function. Like progress, I mean actually void function. It's gonna be progress workload. And no argument. Oh. Okay, so here workload progress plus 9. And then workload progress superior to production site. Okay, so we gotta find a production site. We're gonna say 0 at the moment. Okay, so we have, I can spot a mistake here. This is not meant to be on the node, but this is meant to be on this code is supposed to be on the production side. So eventually, I'm not gonna say this totally farm here, but instead production side. Get with farm. Okay. So here, let's we have production side dot work. Okay. Now that makes sense. So if this is the case, I get a GD print.
Its stomach wearing that mantle of loyalty, knowing that it was woven so thoroughly from sin.
Good men don't conquer.
First, we're gonna make the workload progress go down the same manner, and we're gonna make a produce. Produce function. So here, I'm gonna have this, and I notice at the same time that we need to progress workload right there. Okay, so we progress the workload. Produce. So for each, and I guess we have an item in production side dot up. Is this fair? So I'm gonna say produced, and here we have the name. So item.name.
You've made what I have to do. Very plain. I don't know if you want it or not, but I'll be staying around for the end.
That seems okay.
I consider you a sister still, even if you don't share the sentiment.
So can we actually run this? I mean, that would be... I didn't expect to have like... Oh, yes, no, it's... We'll have to wait a little bit, I think. Oh, there we go. So we produced wheat. This is kind of exciting. It's really not much, but... I love that. Okay, okay. Great thing. Eventually I will have to... I would like to put chapters for the streams. So... should I keep track now? Because it could be quite annoying to have this in the middle of the stream all the time. I don't know. Can I actually... I will do that later. I will suffer the rewatching, I guess. Okay, so this is the first step of trying this a little bit. Maybe we can see how GitHub is allowing us to do things with this project tab. Okay, project. Black Desert idle or backlog. What is this 0, 5? Let's create an item. Start typing to create an item. Okay. So let's say that here we want to create a buffer or create a output item resource. Create a new issue. Create a draft. Add item from repository. So it has to be an issue? Create a draft. Convert to issue. I mean, they say it's an issue, but I'm not sure I have the same. Can I go here? Create. I forgot to create an output item resource. Yeah, actually, maybe issue is the right word. Oh. Hi Abox, just passing by to say that you love the videos and love the vibe here. Thank you. Well, thank you for showing the appreciation. I really appreciate it. And I like that you enjoy the vibe here, because that's pretty much what I want to try to keep intact, the authenticity and the vibe around here. So issues, that's the thing. What are labels? Documentation, duplicate announcements. New feature or request. Okay, so this can be an announcement, so I kind of have to add that. Yes, here I just want to add a label. Enhancement. There we go. So if you want to know what we're doing here, we're kind of working on a new project, which is eventually in the future gonna be functional. That would be great. Which is, as you may have seen, an idle game which is going to be inspired by the mechanics of Black Desert. So translating that into an idle game and making this project open source. I think it's going to be cool so that people can collaborate and work on there, as well as share, create feature requests and stuff. Like, I'm trying to make content which people can not just like watch as in, hey, I'm making a game, watch me make my game. No, let's make a game together. It's pretty much what I'm trying to go toward. And right now I'm testing the GitHub objects. I just don't understand why this backlog here is limited to 5. Set limit. Actually, I don't want a limit. I don't want limit. Why do I have to do that? Priority board. Okay. Okay. Just remove this board because it's kind of built in a project here. Okay, so we could do that, kind of list a few things that we want to be done. So here we have the node producing. Do I want to, okay, we can go to two directions. We can either, let me just move the mic. We can either try to make a little bit of UI for this, or we can try to keep progressing on whatever it's doing. I think making a little bit of UI could be interesting. So there's something I tried to do in the past, and I think I will do that again. It's to create a logger to push log, well, basically logs, and have a visual aspect of those logs in the game running. Control C. It's gonna be green. And this will go in control logger. Let's make this a panel container. Theme override. Something quite simple. Something in the 2B line. But more importantly, content margin. There we go. So this is gonna be a scroll view. Scroll container. With V-box in there. Go. And rich text labels. Maybe it's easier with labels at the moment. But we'll be able to expand that later on. Okay, so logger.
I feel like anger is an emotion that I know how to deal with because that's
all right.
how I live.
Here we have V-box container. Let's make it unique. Public override ready. Container. There we go. Now, probably want an instance like public static logger instance. There we go. Get private set. So instance like this, and we need an override exit tree. So if instance is equal to this, well, actually it does. No, it's not necessary. What we want is to actually.
You don't have to convince me of anything. I've been your friend.
Can we let's ignore that. Let's keep it that way. Public static log, and here we'll have a string message. How is that? Yes, it's to be void. Alright, so here let's create a label,
If I'm your friend, that's always been the problem, man.
then label.text is message,
I'm sure you'll add, and I've told you that on more than one occasion.
and
And I'm not sure what it's met with.
um,
Do you trust the rest of us?
on instance.container shy label. Okay, so basically this is supposed to work, but I can tell you already that there's gonna be a little bit of a trouble in the future with the scrolling, but it's okay in the sense that we can do that later. It's not important yet. That's what I meant. Okay, so we're gonna remove this control and add the logger here.
You look at me.
See, I'm gonna add the logger
Trust you. You do me a favor.
and
Trusting yourself
logger.log.
a little bit.
So we produced item.name. Okay, let's try this again. Let's run the scene. Oh, wait, I'm missing a D. But there we go. We produced tweets. This is cool. I like it. Alright. So let's go back to this GitHub thing and let's see if we can go to in progress. Okay, so here create an output item result. Okay. Do I want water? Yes. Yeah, I do. So okay. There we go. So I'll be right back, as the screen says.
Luke, the world is very big, and it might feel like the three of you are very far apart. But you can always be connected. And as far away as your mother may seem, in the blink of an eye, it can come back to you.
Okay.
And she'll be back soon.
And Caleb, I love you. You're the second love of my life. Thank you for being with me.
I love you too.
And I'm back with camera. So label be gone. Label be gone. What was I doing? The logger? Okay, the logger. So yeah, I think I just dropped this to in progress, exactly. Which means I'm gonna make that right now. Let's go into resources, items, production side. So I guess it is something we can do for both monsters loot and node loot. So eventually we can say that item loot is gonna be the name.
Alright, everybody have a seat. This is going to take a while.
So item loot. Yeah. Let's create a script item loot. Okay. So we are 1 hour in. So eventually I will keep this stream kind of short because this is the first one. This will sit here as a kind of introduction to what's coming next, and I will start doing the chapters also. Definitely don't want to burn out on the first stream, that would be stupid. Okay. Why am I not in the script I created? Yeah, that would. Global class. Item loot result. So I don't think we need keys for this.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh, we could.
So proud of you.
Actually, we could.
Do anything.
I'm gonna make it. Just. Okay, we're gonna have a loot key. Loot debug actually.
All of us. Seemingly so little alike.
Public string
This time in my life, I can't shake the feeling that we're
loot debug.
together.
Oh, wait a second. We have two things here. We need the item.
Very forward.
Okay, so item loot. Yes. So string item. Oh, actually, do we want the item itself or the item key? Let's have item itself. Item and new item by default.
You had a destiny from the moment I met you. It's
And then we have two things.
new.
We have the
You are particular.
double of blue. I'm actually curious to see what's the difference.
Well, matter of perspective, I suppose. You're moving towards something.
Language. Where's the language? Where's the language?
Where do I put this?
I don't know.
Have you ever
So it is smaller.
planted
Float is smaller.
or planted? Have you ever planted anything? Put anything in the ground? A long time ago.
6 to 9 numbers.
What did you plant? Green beans. Green beans, perfect.
Which means that it's probably enough. We're gonna use floats. which is going to be the rate. So by default, it's going to be 100. And we're going to have the item, the rate. So maybe we don't need a name here, I don't know. But yeah, we need the integer minimum quantity and integer maximum quantity. Now that I have this, I'm quite curious. Do we have really small numbers? Integer is 32 bytes. Okay.
A lot of manure. What a good garden.
So here it can be a byte, technically. 0 to 255. Yeah. Well, let's make it a byte. That's like extra optimization, but let's be savvy. I love that, actually, if you didn't know that. I'm very curious about how to optimize things and make things the right way. I like to be picky. Now, from this we could eventually create a method.
What though?
We could create a method
In a very long time, I feel.
which returns a byte, which is the actual quantity of item we have generated here.
You look like you feel hopeful, Caleb.
And it could be -1 if you didn't get it, or it could be the actual quantity if you did get it, or it could be 0. That works too. So get loot. Actually, more like raw loot. So here we just return maximum. But I actually want to kind of visualize this. Maybe I should create a note of this. Canvas. Okay, I don't need a graph. Because here we have the production site. Okay. And we want this production site to say weight between 2 and 5. And I don't know. Do we talk about quality here? Eventually. So let's have special weight. 1, 2, 3. So here we have like 2 items produced here. And this is the output. So the output is a list of those. So yeah, since the output is a list, we don't need to create a kind of a loot box item. And we can just focus on making the item loot here. And this is what item? Odds quantity. Okay. So this like roles and this gives back returns quantity. That would look like this, I guess. Okay. Let's try this. So maybe we don't need the name and the string. Those are probably overkill. But we need that. So we roll loot. Okay. So first, if wait, we're actually gonna mix. Let's use maybe different functions, like private boolean loot successful. Okay, so if rate is superior or equal to 100 float, return true. Then otherwise we need randomness. So maybe we're gonna create a random object in there. So here we're gonna have a private static random like this guy. Random. Can I initialize it here? A random? Probably. Then I think we just want to roll random dot next. And what do you give here? A non-negative random integer. No. What do you offer? Next single floating point between 0 and 1. So maybe we can use 1.0. So this is like 100%. So next single. And what we want to do is check that this random next single or rate is superior or equal. Let me think. I gotta get this working. If the rate is 50%, no, that's a bad idea. 60%. Then we want it to be on the bigger part, which is under it. So if the random is inferior to the rate, so if the rate is superior to the random, it's okay. But if it's 1.0, if it is 1.0, it's always gonna be superior, and this way it's always gonna be done. I think we're good. Actually, we can just return that. We can return this thing. Okay, so if we can do that, but it's not really readable. Is it readable? I guess it is. Now, private boolean roll quantity. So here we have like, let's roll success. Here we're gonna have roll. Okay, we have roll success, roll quantity. So we're gonna return random dot next, and it can have two overloads. So what if I say mean max? Returns a random integer that is within a specified range. Max value, the exclusive up bound with random number return. Max value must be greater than or equal. Okay, so here it is max quantity plus 1. But why is that bad? Okay, because this is an integer. So maybe I can say next byte. Next byte. Here's the element. Okay, wait a second. This is byte. Deals the elements of a specified array of bytes with random numbers. Nah, that's not what I want. What I want is bytes of random next and minimum quantity max plus 1. That's probably what I want. But I hope it's not defeating the entire purpose of using bytes instead of integers. Okay, so here we roll. So if roll successful, we return roll quantity. Otherwise, we return 0. That seems fair. It looks beautiful. I like it. So let's go back to the production side. Actually, the first node. Produce. Okay. So for each item, we're gonna do something different. And here, actually, we'll have to change this. We have to make sure that the production site is actually item loot. It's actually a new item loot. Alright, so here we create a new list. But let's create a new item loop instead. So what if I say with loot? Maybe I need to type it. So item loot with loot. Okay. So with loot dot item is with. The rate is 1. This is fine. So with loot dot minimum quantity is going to be 2. And the maximum quantity is going to be 5. Alright. So here we have with loot. Great. Now, what if we create another one? What if we say with it or crit there we go. So with loot dot item is get width. Here we have the rate, which is 0.1. So that's 10%, technically. Maybe I need the light. Getting yellow. With loot dot minimum quantity. I don't know, something in the line of between 10. Oh, actually, I forgot something important. I forgot crit. Okay, so here we have with loot and crit. Okay. Alright, so this is channel. So now if I go there, okay. So I have byte quantity. So if quantity and parenthesis quantity is inferior or equal to 0, we continue. I think that's it. Otherwise, we log a message which says produce and item loot dot item dot name and x quantity. That looks beautiful. Let's hope that it works as well as it is beautiful. Let's see. I'm gonna wait a little bit. Yay! That's cool. Okay. I really love that. Well, looking at the time, almost 2 hours, so I will have to go through that again. Anyway, I think that's all for today's stream. I hope you guys liked it, because I really did. And I had a good impression for this project. So it's going to be very fun to do. Anyway, thanks for being around. Thanks for saying hi and stuff. I always love that. I'll be on my way getting my camera out. And yeah, I will leave you with the music a little bit. And I'll see you in future content. Eventually, I'll make a video to kind of visualize this project a little bit more. Anyway, you can follow this on GitHub. I will add the link in the description soonish. And you guys have fun, you make your games, and I'll see you later.